welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. We're wrapping up Classics Week. Well, I guess it's Classics half a month, right? Because we went 2 weeks. And I think a lot of people have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed doing it. I've heard a lot of great tracks. I've heard a lot of artists that I haven't heard before and I needed to. And that includes Universal Soldiers, man. These cats have been brought up a lot. Shout out goes to 24/7 Smoke, who has been pushing me to do Universal Soldiers forever. This Crime Stories, he says, is his favorite. And this was actually sent to me by Manage as well. So I know it is one of those groups, man, that maybe wrapping up Classics Week with these cats make a whole lot of sense. So let's do that now. And we'll get back to our regular schedule tomorrow on Monday. I know that a lot of new stuff dropped, so I guess I'm catching up to do. So without further ado, let's jump right in. See what they got for us.
Tony Blair says, he's going to give this much for crime, he's going to do this, he's going to stop this, he's going to stop that. But he needs to stop and ask why crime is going on in the first place.
Why those things?
Why people are on the street doing what they're doing.
Yo, Ultra Ricochet, Universal Soldiers, trust me, Big Ben style beat, news at 10, turn up the TV, you know, are you watching? Hey yo, Rick, tell them the latest report.
I speak for dark hooligans, I used to teeth with my spar Julian, one coolie boys, half Guyanese and part Peruvian. We check the gallon and their Rudy friend tried to get a grind or a shine like a ruby gem. He's selling crack up in the flats or at the end of the street. Local paracats snap it up like pelican beaks. His mum and dad caned on sets with a tenancy. His baby sis pop pills like delicatessen. Sweet, he'd always say nobody tell him no speech. He'd rather go to church service, hear the reverend preach. Deep in drugs way above his head and his feet. The only way to pray and listen if their brothers could speak. Fuck school and 9 GCSEs, cause nowadays kids juggle white cheese and the keys. And that's why it breeds a disease like Alzheimer's. When every crew is thinking who the fuck can outshine us. That's why Berettas or a heckler and kosh settle vendettas. Breaders brown breaded or locked, I brung it real. So slamming that I'm dunking to kill, running my deals while dodging jab sponges on wheels. You better listen when the street speaks, walk on thin.
I want to stop here, man, before it gets into the hook. Digging this production, it has that 90s sound, that golden era, man, that you know that I love so much. I talk about it all the time. This first MC too, I can't remember the name. I apologize. He said it right off the start. I forgot it. Dig this cat, man. They have that 90s sound, which I love so much, and I'm here for that, man. Production is tight. First MC comes in, kind of builds upon what they talk about with Tony Blair, right? Off the start, it's like Tony Blair's going to give some money for this. He's going to say we're going to fix. We're going to give more funding for that, but we're not really fixing anything. We're just kind of slapping that Band-Aid on it, right? You're not finding out why this shit's happening. You're just saying, let's do this. Right now, the homelessness is a big issue, right? How come we have exponentially more homeless this year than we had last year? And I know there are some unusual economic issues based around the pandemic and stuff, but at the same time, they're spending more money on homelessness than they ever have. So why does that keep going up? Spending money isn't gonna cure anything, man, if you're just slapping a Band-Aid on it. And that's kind of what he's saying here, man. There's a reason why these cats are doing it. Find out why. Find out why this cycle doesn't break. And if I heard that right, that here's a cat that if I'm picking up what he's putting down is, here's a cat that would rather be in church, listen to a preacher preach, but instead he's on the street selling cocaine or selling crack, I think he said. And then his parents are on drugs, his sister's on drugs. He can go to school, but this shit's not anything different there. All the kids are doing the same thing. All the kids are in the same predicament he is. Maybe a lot of them are selling drugs and stuff too. So there is no escape from that cycle. That there is no escape from everything that, and throwing money at it isn't going to make a difference, right? The cycle does continue. I apologize. Vanessa's not home and the dogs are in here, so if they were making noise and shit when I had my headphones, I can't hear it. But if I locked them out of the room, they'd just scratch on the door and shit. That'd be probably worse. Let's keep going.
Hundreds of wheels. You better listen when the street speaks. Walk on thin ice, get blown out the back of Jeep seats. I paint the Jack and Ori scene deep with what I see. I could write a novel every 3 weeks. My top shot has got a lot of potential. Proper men.
From what I see, I can write a novel every 3 weeks. He's probably not wrong, man.
I could write a novel every 3 weeks. My top shot has got a lot of potential. Proper mental with a chocolate beauty spot on her temple. What? She 30 something, but she hopped upon the dirty loving and runs around with dear flirty cousin. Walked in the yard when I see her choke, blowing out the reefer smoke. And her addiction is the thing that still keep her broke. Her son Peter told enough on the crack. Her daughter Tina's only 14, but fucks in the fly. Black and splendor. I remember back in December when she was toking on the shit.
Bro, this... Again, talking about that, here's someone with a lot of potential. And if they really could get themselves away, wanted to get themselves away, maybe had some kind of intervention that would help them get away from it, they could see that potential through and make something of themselves. Instead, is he talking about she sells, like she's a prostitute? She basically sells herself to buy drugs. That's what I'm... What the hell are they doing? I don't know. Dog, they're always... When you have 2 dogs, man, they're always up for mischief. These cats. These cats. Hey, here's a woman with all kind of potential. He calls it... I think he said she's always up for dirty love, which makes me think it's like she's selling herself to make money to buy drugs. And the fact that she, like they say, she has a 14-year-old daughter who's only 14, but then she brings cats up into the flat and she's having sex right there, and the mom knows all about it. Kind of setting up your daughter for the same type of future that you have, right? If at that age you're just allowing your kid to do that right under your nose, or you're too far gone yourself that you don't even recognize, you don't even realize what's going on 2 feet in front of your face.
The fly, black and splendor. I remember back in December when she was toking on a shit spliff, went mad on a bender. Had to tell her, put away the blade and start waving that. Coke all over the floor like it was shaking back. Now she rolling in them yardie man cars. Nigga her chest bigger than Linda Lusardi and bras. She says the feds will never catch them and laughs. Only last week they beat them till they broke their battens in half. My neighbors chasing them last May, always raided.
I don't know if that ever happened, but goddamn. Because I think those things are made out of, like I think they have some kind of steel inside. Break those things in half, man. That's...
Will never catch them and last. Only last week they beat them till they broke their battens in half. And they was chasing them last May, always raided looking any trace of the class A. You think it's fucked up? It probably is. I make the paper from a caper, see you later, now I'm out like Ronnie Biggs. You better listen when the street speaks. Walk on thin ice, get blown out the back of Jeep seats. I paint a Jack and Ori scene deep with what I see. I could write a novel every 3 weeks.
Hey yo, let's celebrate. Count the money on the living floor. It's me and Billy Bones, blood. He's been in prison for more than 2 years. Well-known states from back in the day. Smoke crack and say, yo, Ultra Jackin' will pay. Now we got dough. Sold enough drugs with counterfeit bills. Used to get filled from the counters lashing the tills. Now we got cars, under preludes, bitches and dates. Stolen Z3s, MG, switching the plates. Didn't penetrate when I got shift driving the MG. 3 weeks later, saw the CLK attempt me. They sent me one more time, it's all on the line. 4-month ban, slap on the an and the fine. So I moved jar, ain't paid shit. Your government shit. I got a bigger stick, new whips, enough chips. Got some new chicks, smoke bones and suck 2 dicks. Watch new flicks, hold half a 6 in their huge tits. Loose lips, sink ships, I'm moving quicker now. Bridgen got shot, lost his leg, I'm feeling bitter now. When I come true, new shotters, they get the jitters now. When I see a card, I won't pull it, I fucking rip it down. Bosses get stacked, bosses get whacked. Steal from the PKK, you better get a strap. Cause a soldier's dream to get dough off of the coldest scheme. Sometimes end with your head blown off and gold is green. Watch the news.
Even the way they ended that, right? Like, watch the... I like the way they did that because you had the multiple kind of looks at like he said, I can write a novel every 3 weeks with what he sees, right? And that's like just 3 of the stories, 3 different types of characters in these true life stories, right? And I love it when they kind of when hip hop can tell a story like that and deliver a message, a very poignant message, right? And he even ends it off where it's like the whole thing about loose sink ships and stuff, and you go to jail, spend 2 years in jail, maybe for a crime you didn't commit. Maybe you're covering for somebody. Maybe you take one for the gang. Meanwhile, you're doing time and they're out there doing their thing, and you come back out, immediately get back into the drugs, get back into the gang. Like, it is, again, that cycle doesn't stop until, like, he ends it, make a shot in the face, right? And that'll end it really quick. So I like what they did there, man. It's a hell of a track. Storytelling, always great when you do it correctly, and they did that correctly, man. And hopefully you think I did Classics Week correctly. I know there's a lot of stuff I still haven't got to, but we touched on some pretty important icons of hip hop in UK, man. And it's definitely something I'm going to want to do again. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any recommendations for maybe something different going forward, maybe focusing on a different era, focusing on a different whatever, man, you tell me. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here, making these past couple weeks so much fun, making these past few years so much fun. It really is. I loved every minute of it. I love all you cats. I guess back to the regular schedule Monday. Until then, stay safe. Be good to each other.